Welcome back to Live at the Hive with the Biz Beez. My name is Janice Jokkel, and I've got Kate with us. We are partners in crime here at the Biz Beez, and we are excited to just have a conversation today with you about some topics that kind of were shocking to us at some information that we received recently. 5.7 million EIN numbers, that's the social security number of a business that was pulled in 2021 through the U.S. government. I was flabbergasted to hear that 5.7 million people had a dream and took that dream and launched it into reality. And today we're going to talk, Kate and I, we're going to talk about what are the fundamental pieces of launching that dream into reality and some of the things that you're going to need to know about when you launch. And so today we're going to talk about, what are the criticalities when you make that dream a reality and what people think, well, I'm going to hold back because that's too expensive. I recently heard from one of my clients that being cheap is an expensive way of doing business. And so true is, when we often hear that, I'm a solo entrepreneur. You should never be a solo entrepreneur. You should always have somebody on your team, whether it's internal or external. We call that outsourced resources. And so what does that look like? So today we're going to talk about a couple things that's critical to launching your business into existence. My superpower here at the Biz Beez is that I have been in sales my whole life. Everybody's in sales, but not everybody thinks they're in sales. And so what happens when you launch your business into existence? You open that door of your brick and mortar, or you go online and you hear crickets. So what do you do to get your business launched so the phone rings? So we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about what happens when you launch. You need a marketing funnel. You need marketing to get people to know who you are. And then when marketing happens and that phone rings, what happens from the sales perspective? So sales is not marketing and marketing is not sales. And Kate is the expert in the marketing lane and I'm the expert in the sales lane. So we're going to have a conversation about just a couple of those tidbits of what we feel are our pitfalls of what we've experienced and more importantly, what our successes are. So Kate, take it away. You are the marketing, so we have to have marketing in business before people even know what we do.
I think one of the most important things is your list. If you don't have a list, you can't market to anybody.
Right.
I can't tell you how many clients have come to me with their website. I help them upgrade their website. Mm-hmm. And they have all these brilliant resources. I mean, I'm so blessed to work with such brilliant people. But
I'm one of those.
Of course, Janice. And they're giving away all this stuff and not collecting email addresses.
They're not collecting data.
So
right. Yeah.
When they have a class, they have no one to send the class to because they've given all of their things away for free, which is great. You have to give things away for free, but you also have to get their email addresses and their names. And their phone numbers too. It's okay to call people. Yeah. If they give you their number. Yes. They want you to call.
You have authority. So that's the one thing, from launching a business, several businesses now, is one of the things that I've learned over the years of being an entrepreneur is that you have to know who you're marketing to, right? Mm-hmm. You have to hone in on who it is that you're talking and that message is going out to and who it's falling on. So just like the Biz Beez, right? Our goal is to support women business owners and we are very clear on that message. Yeah. We tweak it all the time. But, going back to building your list is if you don't know who needs to go on that list, how do you get started?
That's one of the first things that gets missed is you'll hear it either called your ideal client, your avatar, there's all kinds of different names. Right. I think just set some time aside in your calendar. Do time blocking. Mm-hmm. I like to do things in the morning just because that's when I work best. Mm-hmm. So come up with a name. I mean, I know, use any name. Cindy. Pretend that you're sitting across from Cindy, your ideal client. What is she like? What does she look like? I mean, everything. Because then that will help you narrow down your marketing.
Down to how old she is and how many kids she has.
Income. I mean, just everything. Where does she shop? What's her favorite shoes? Is she a flip-flop kind of person, or Gucci? I mean, does Gucci make shoes?
Yes, I think so.
I'm not a fashion person. I don't know. I wear flip-flops. So that's my ideal avatar. That's my avatar.
No, I don't wear Gucci. But.
Yeah, right. But you want to, right?
I want to.
So that's such a critical step in marketing.
Yeah.
And so when you do blog posts, because right now for SEO, blog posts are a great way to get your name out. Write your blog posts to that person.
So does it cost to write a blog?
No.
And where do we put a blog at?
You put it on your website, and then you share it everywhere. Share it on LinkedIn. Like, one of the great things about LinkedIn is they tell your people, your first connections, that you posted something. Facebook, it's getting really hard to get in front of people. You might have 500 people in your Facebook group. 2 of them might see your post and won't get shared to more people unless they like it. So you can put it there on Facebook. Another place I like to do that often gets forgotten about is your email signature. So when I talked before about having you might hear it called a lead magnet. The lead magnet is just the free thing that you give away to collect an email address. Put the link to it in your email signature so people know about it. Put it in the About section of your LinkedIn profile too, your lead magnet, so you can get email addresses. You might think, well, why would I put it in my email signature? People share your emails, so you can collect somebody that maybe didn't originally get your email.
So I hear a lot about Google My Business lately, and I'm a big advocate of Google My Business because it's organic growth that you can get out of that. And so we've been using Google My Business recently for blogging, and there's some nuances there, but I will tell you that we have gotten more traction through Google My Business lately by just simply putting up articles on, CoShare Space, or our launch of our classes that we're doing of sales training and business coaching and stuff.
If you have a WordPress website, you can get a plugin that will automatically post to Google My Business for you. So it's not an extra step you have to do.
Right.
As soon as you click publish, it also publishes to Google My Business.
So it goes on your website, and then from your website, it immediately goes straight onto your Google My Business.
Yes.
And I am all about a one-touch approach. If you are
Absolutely.
touching things more than one time, there's a cost associated to that. Every single thing, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're touching things more than one time, or people are other people in your company are touching it multiple times, you are wasting money, time, resources, and so forth.
Yeah.
So,
Dr. Benjamin Hardy, he's an author and a psychiatrist, and one of his books that I absolutely love is called Who Not How. Oh. Because when you're first starting a business, you are so just entrenched. How do I do this? How do I get... No, that's the wrong question. You need to be asking, who do I know who can help me do this?
Yep.
And I mean, that's just been a night and day difference in my business personally, because I'm only one person, and there's so many hours in a day, and I have kids to take places, and especially in the summer. Summer is generally a slow month anyway. But by switching, who do I know? Something, even with medical bills. So I have a friend who, her dad didn't have insurance, and it was sad what happened. But I'm like, wait, it was my business coach who said, okay, Kate, you need to stop right there and ask who, not how. How can we help pay the medical bills? Quit thinking this, I got to do it myself. I just can't. And so my business coach pulled me up out of there.
That's awesome, because that's what the Biz Hive is all about, right? So the Biz Hive is my passion point, and pieces of what we do at the Biz Hive is our team. You hire a team versus an individual, and our team takes those tasks off your to-do list. And so what we found with the people that we've earned business with is that talking about being solo, right? There's a lot of solo entrepreneurs. There's 5.7 million people out there that started a business last year.
I can't even believe
that. It's just flabbergasting to me that there's so much opportunity for us to go and support those people and their dreams and their aspirations. And you cannot do business alone. You should never have to do business alone. And the whole who, not how, people do get so wrapped up of, well, how do I do this? And I'm going to go Google this and spend hours upon hours.
And YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh my
right?
gosh, I spent so many hours in YouTube.
Yeah. Great invention, by the way. But the bottom line is you can't do it alone. And my analogy always is love it or leave it. That's an exercise we do with our clients is you love it, we're never touching it because you're going to micromanage us. If you love creation or marketing or whatever it is, we're not touching it because you will overlook what we have the creation for. And then the leave it is, I'm going to leave it to you, Biz Hive, and your team is going to take it off our plate and we're going to do it for you, whether it's answering your phones or we do so much admin work of just little tasks that are insurmountable to those solo entrepreneurs.
It is.
That just can't, I always say, how much is your time worth? As an entrepreneur, our time is valuable. You may be selling a widget that's $5, but that really didn't cost $5. It costs way more than $5 because there's time and talent and expertise that wrapped around that $5. And if it's a service, you speak about building a website or what have you, and people always, well, that's too expensive. Well, you didn't show your value up front. But more importantly, how much is your time worth? And if you're touching things and your time is worth $100, $200, we have the honor of serving lawyers and all kinds of people. And, they know that their time in front of a client is more valuable than putting a binder together or answering their phone. We get to have the pleasure of answering their phone and fielding all of those calls out that they don't want to have to take, and we book their appointments. So those little things in business add up to be insurmountable, and you don't have to do it alone. You have to find the resources to be able to accommodate that. So let's talk about the sales end of it. So you get these people in, you get them on a list. We have that avatar of that, mom that's 40, that, the whole list goes on. Yeah. She's on that list, and now we've got her to the point of, I need help. I want to buy this, or I want to use that service. Yeah. And the phone rings.
So now what?
And that's where I come in. So you got the phone to ring. And so the sales aspect of it is people go into business and don't realize that, I have to sell what I'm making, or I have to sell that service I'm doing. And, they're passionate about whatever it is, but they don't have the business acumen of, okay, I need to have that marketing. And then the marketing is that lead attraction of educating the masses of what you do. Yeah. And then you catch that fish on a hook. It's kind of like fishing, right? You go out in the ocean or you go out in the lake, depending on which, I say global or local. And so when that phone rings, that's where the business owners are like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? I just got the phone to ring. And so that's where the whole sales acumen comes in, or the sales techniques come in. And I teach a class called The Closer, Be a Better Closer. And I'll give, 5 tips on that. Is you have to connect. You have to build the relationship first. People they don't want to be sold, they want to buy, right? They want to be the buyer, they don't want to be sold to. And now more than ever. And then, so you have to connect with that caller to make sure that you're a good fit. Oftentimes, salespeople or business owners like to I call it spray and pray. I'm going to spray all my information to you and pray to God that you're going to buy from me, right? And the whole L in the closer is that you have to stop and listen, because if that call came through, there is an emotional connection. They made a conscious effort to call you. Yeah. And so there is an actual need, and I call it my authority, because you called me. I didn't call you. I didn't cold call you, right? And so I am going to lean in and listen, and I'm going to learn as much as I can, because you called me with an intent to buy. You have an intent to buying something. And so you have to just really lean in, listen, ask a ton of questions, and that's your ground to knowing if you're a good fit for that person. And then after that's done, the O is for the opportunity. You have the opportunity and authority to be able to go in, and we're not pitchers. Pitchers are for baseball. We're not pitching an idea. We're pitching your deal, right? We are presenting what that looks like, that how we can solve that pain point. and whatever that is that you're selling. And then lastly, this is the missed opportunity always when I have the opportunity of talking to business owners and salespeople, is they don't simply ask for the order. They forget to say, hey, listen, I'd love to do business with you. I take Visa, MasterCard, Discover. How'd you like to pay for that today? And
that's the scary part.
Wait a second. I have to
ask somebody to buy from me.
Yeah. So you
it's
scary. Have to ask for the order. And that's my most exhilarating part of the sales process is asking. And if they don't say yes, then you need to go back and say, what did I do wrong? Because you should have been able to tee them up to be able to give them exactly what they want. Again, people want to buy, they don't want to be sold to. And when you get all that information in the listening process and the learning process and asking the right questions, and that's where really being an owner of your craft of what you do well, you should be able to go in and say, hey, I'd love to do business and this is when. Setting up that expectation of when we can do business is critical. Don't overcommit and not deliver. Yeah. But really, that whole ask for the closer is a sell and ask for that business. And then really, after you deliver that product, is evaluate how that service was. So, keep that pulse on that client depending on what you're selling them. And then lastly, is probably the most critical part is people always miss this, is the closer is asking for referrals and reviews. And that's simply going in and asking, hey, in that evaluation process of reaching back out to them and saying, hey, how's your service going? How are we doing? How are you liking your widget or whatever that is? Yeah. I love it. Oh, it's great. It's whatever. And make that 24 to 48 hour touch. And then when that happens, when they're like in the singing accolades, you immediately ask them for, hey, listen, do you know of anybody else that I can serve as I did to you? And then lastly, going in and asking for that reference to put on your website, or coming back to technology is, where are the highest touches? We ask for a Google review, and because Google is going to rank higher, and Facebook, like you said, is changing, and it's got different algorithms going on right now, and it's ever changing, but Google seems to stay the course, and asking for those reviews is critical. So
they'll rank you higher.
Right, exactly. So from a opening your door, I'm in business, and then how does people know I even exist? And it comes from the marketing. So if there's anything we can leave our viewers with today is the two pieces that people feel that it's too expensive, I'm not investing in, is the marketing and understanding the sales piece of it. Because if you have those two components in your business, you can outsource the financing. You can outsource and hire a bookkeeper. And if you don't know numbers, don't do it yourself. Find a good bookkeeper. If there's only one thing I'm going to leave you with today, is outsource the things that you can't do well, because that will leave you time to do what your craft is.
Or that you hate to do.
I hate finances, so I outsource my bookkeeping.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should
do it. Right. Yeah. So leaving our viewers with two nuggets of knowledge, one from each of us, is...
Like, what is my nugget of knowledge?
I don't know. What's your nugget of knowledge?
Like we were saying, it doesn't have to be expensive.
No.
I mean, just put your lead magnet on LinkedIn. That doesn't cost you anything in marketing. Right. It doesn't have to be postcards and mailers and, things that you see the typical people doing. You don't have to do that. Just get your name out there. Get started.
Get started and connected.
Yeah.
And from a sales perspective, it's the whole prospecting and the marketing needs to be there. But from a sales perspective, it's really just saying, I am going to time block and do it. I have a client right now that I have the privilege of being her trainer, and we time block 9:30 to 11:30. My gear is that you outbound call in the morning, and you touch those people you want to talk to or reach out to, because then you have all day for them to call you back. Oftentimes, salespeople say, oh, I'm going to do my touches in the afternoon, and then things happen, and it doesn't get done, and then it doesn't get done. But if you do it first thing in the morning, take that bite of that elephant out right at the beginning of the morning, and then you have all day for those people to call you back.
Yeah, and if that sounds scary to you, one of my clients, I love this phrase, she calls it her coffee chats.
Yeah.
And because she's just sitting there with her coffee right after breakfast.
Yep.
And so she psychs herself up to do it because she's having coffee. These are just future friends.
Yep.
If sales is scary to you.
Yeah, yeah. And sales does not have to be scary. You just have to have somebody like myself to be able to walk them through what that feels like.
Absolutely.
And my motto is role play on me, not your customer. Let's role play it together so that you are comfortable when you pick up that phone and make that connection. So it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Janice.
It's been awesome. Marketing and sales. If you need either one of us to reach out and help you, we are here to help. The Biz Beez is all about uplifting the women in our community, and more importantly, education. You know, knowledge is power, and education is our foundation of what we're all about here at the Biz Beez. Biz Hive is where you can come and thrive, and Kate and I are here to be able to support you in your business. But more importantly, we want to be here to educate. And today was all about pausing our spotlight on business owners and really giving you a little taste of what we do in our mastermind calls during our Biz Beez Lunch and Learns, virtual Lunch and Learns. So, to become a member, you just have to reach out and join for free. We have our free membership now for our social club, and then our VIP club also is a fee for service. So to become a member is simple. Just go to www.thebizbeez.com. You'll hear about our story, and most importantly, sign up for all our free resources and our in-person and virtual meetings. So toodles, everyone. Have a great day.